Everybody, thanks for watching. Just a quick reminder that Merkabah Scholar Society welcome package as well as the NDAs have gone out. So make sure you guys check your email if you had already paid for Merkabah Scholar Society. Check your emails. A lot of the NDAs are still going out, but a lot of you guys already have them in your email. I see a bunch of you guys signed them already, so that's great. So they are going out. So make sure you guys check your emails. Check your emails for the welcome package and everything like that. And I appreciate everybody who has participated so far, who has signed up. We got a good group, and I think we're going to do some cool stuff with that. So make sure you guys are checking on that. Also, it is still available for Merkabah Scholar Society. You only got a few more days to get in here. So make sure you guys take advantage. So I split it up. You got 3 different payment options. You can pay in full right now. You can do 2 payments of $49.99, or you can do 4 payments of $29.99. It's up to you guys. So the link is in the description for you guys to go ahead and take advantage of that. Again, we're getting closer to the 9th, so everything is going to stop as far as people getting in. So make sure you get in now so you don't have to pay the $500 once this ends. So make sure you guys get in and take advantage now. So I wanted to get into a lot of people are talking about the, they're calling them immigrants. They're calling them migrants and all kinds of names for these people coming in. And again, it's what I was saying yesterday. You guys should be smart enough now to see through what's happening. It's like every time we have an issue, it's something that by now people should be able to see through. But what's happening is people just keep falling for the okie doke over and over again. One, America has been basically the same as far as immigration. Let's just say as far as how the people act. I've been here my whole life, of course, but I've been all over the world and I've seen how just about almost every race behaves. It's very, very unlikely that you have people who have luckily made it here, has been given citizenship. We've been seeing these migrants. We've been seeing these people get all kinds of benefits from the government, which everybody's been pissed about. So it's unlikely that these people, these immigrants coming here, forming gangs, causing all kinds of violence, holding people hostage, getting in shootouts. When have you ever seen that from any type of immigrant group to the point where it's all over the news? Where have you seen that before? You have never seen it. I have seen so many immigrants in America, so many peaceful people, peaceful foreigners. They come here, they're looking for work, and they keep their head down and they work hard. We have, of course, not just our own people, but of course you have people that come here to try to do illegal acts or what have you. And they're, for the most part, they're arrested and deported and everything like that. But they keep their mouth shut. They keep quiet while they're doing their dirt. You rarely see them all over the news like you're seeing with these migrant workers. You understand? It's bullshit. And a lot of people is buying into it as if it's some kind of thing, like these people are on their own coming against the American people. What immigrant you seen come here and make so much noise, knowing that this is America and there's no beating them? And like, you're going to go in specific neighborhoods and cause trouble, not knowing what's going on in those neighborhoods? It don't make sense. So you have people, what's happening in different cities. You have different gangs across the country talking about, if they're coming here, what they're going to do. You understand? You as a foreigner who don't know the lay of the land, you have no type of logistics. You have no type of intel. You have no idea about the people who you're dealing with. And you expect that these people is going to form a group, go against, immigration, local police, state police, National Guard, the locals. They're going to go against the whole fucking country to go ahead and fucking hold apartment complexes hostage and all kinds of shit that they're doing. It's bullshit. It's obviously playing out. This is obviously something that these people have been preparing for. And it goes back to what I was telling you guys, what they're going to do, what's going to happen. I talked about before when we had the whole riots, right? If you guys remember, after George Floyd. So we had the riots, and I put out a bunch of videos, And I showed you guys that these people were staging this whole thing. That you had truckloads of people pull up, U-Hauls pull up, and a bunch of people jump out of the U-Hauls with picket signs, right? As if they were gathered in one place and taken to another place to protest. This was already pre-planned. Again, when a lot of these people got to these places, what happened? They got there, there's already bricks there. There's already stuff available for them to loot. And again, you look at a lot of the videos, especially a lot of the ones I saw in Philadelphia, the police are just standing there. They're standing there, they're allowing them to loot, right? Allowing them to riot. So again, I told you guys, that was to gauge the participation and the amount of people, right? To see what areas will have the most damage, how many people will come out from certain areas to riot, what would be the demographics? You understand? Young, old, black, white, what have you, how would it look? And for the most part, we've seen that. We've seen white people, we've seen black people, we've seen everybody getting theirs, right? And as I told you guys, that was to gauge who would do what, how many people would go out. This is war. You guys got to understand. See, everybody got their head in the fucking ground and not realizing these people have been at war with us for a long time. You understand? The art of war is on the president's desk. You got to read that book and understand we are enemies to them. These people are foreigners that's running this country. They are controlling everything. They are deadly scared of the people. They are scared of what we can do and what we're able to do. So this takes a lot of reconnaissance. I'm ex-military, so I understand how these people work. This is a lot of research right here. One, you have the riots happen so you can know how many people could possibly come out. Now, the situation is going to be a lot more dire later on, so more people will come out. But they want to know how these people are going to act, how these people are going to move. All of this was a test to see how you people would move, how everybody would go about their business, who would stay home, how many people would show up in each city, right? It's crazy. You would think something like that would be the worst nightmare for them, that the people are out in the street across the world, it was, but definitely across America, out there looting, rioting, right? And it was just calm and cool. They let the people get out their anger, and then they cleaned up the next day, and it was like, very few people got arrested, very few people got caught, and then it just happened. It was what it was. And then we've been seeing since then just the random rioting and looting of people all over. Now, we had this whole big crisis with these immigrants coming over. Now, and you guys got to understand, remember, we bombed Syria. We destroyed it. We brought down buildings on little children. I talked about this before. And we have these people who we brought over here from Syria, from Afghanistan, or what have you. And these people, for the most part, disappeared, right? Remember, they came in and it was a big fucking deal. And then all of a sudden, they just stopped talking about them. And then all of a sudden, they started bringing them back up again. And I said, well, where the fuck was these people during this time when nobody was talking about them? What was happening? What was going on with these people? And I told you guys, these people are going to be your National Guard. When it goes down, when they need people to basically police the people, when it's going to be rioting and looting and what have you, it's going to be these people, right? Because you're going to have American military people that's not going to want to do anything to the American people. But they had to gauge the numbers. They had to figure out how many people they would need in certain areas. They are outnumbered. So they are playing a strategic game against us, so we don't even understand. A lot of people have no idea. They just think it is what it is. This is a strategy. This is strategic. It's chess. So one, they did this whole exercise to gauge how many people is going to come out, how many people they would need to police in certain areas, right? That's what that was about. So now you have these migrants or immigrants or what have you coming out, and it's been controversy since then. But you got to understand what they're doing and how this shit works. One, if you're paying attention to the talk, now, like since when has America or the news media been worried about gangs, right? We haven't seen no big thing about gangs or what gangs have gang activity, and it's been going on for a long time. There's never been no real outcry or outpour to the gang community to stop or do something, right? Now they're sort of looking towards the gangs to help police the situation with these migrants, with these people coming in certain neighborhoods doing certain things. And then all of a sudden they know their movements. They know where these people are going to be, and what's going to happen. So they're warning certain areas. Hey, watch out. These gangs, these immigrant gangs is going to be in this area. They're going to be in this area. They're planning on rioting and looting here. And they talk about this shit ahead of time. How do you know? How do you know where they're going to be? And then they show up, and then something happens somewhere, and then it's a big issue. But now they're harping on these gangs. And now they all of a sudden got intel in the gangs saying, hey, I spoke to a bunch of gang members. The gang members said that if they come over here, they're going to get dealt with, basically. We're going to deal with them in our own way. How do you know? Like, what? Since when? Okay, who was the gang member you talked to that talked to the news media and told y'all this? This is them egging up the gangs, almost giving the gangs a pass to go to war with these people, saying, hey, the gangs are going to clean up the street. The gangs are going to stop these people, and then let them come here and see what the gangs do. Again, it's just a strategy, because it's not just gangs, right? It's the people. They want to gauge how people are going to interact with this. You got to understand your enemy. So all this is just an exercise. So we can see how you people fight, right? So if there's a foreign enemy that came on American soil in your neighborhood, how would you combat that? Let's see how it happens. It's an exercise. So let's send these people out in certain areas and see how they deal with it. It's a lot of stuff that's happening that's not on the news. They're not talking about, because they want to see how this stuff happens or how these people work. And if they put that out, that's going to give the next group or next neighborhood that it happens in more intel. So they're going to be able to combat, what happened in another neighborhood. So you understand, they're getting the information and they're keeping it for themselves, but they're not sharing it with us. So if you come on the news, all you got to say is there was an attack here, right? That's all people need to know. But if you come on the news and say, hey, it was attack here in this neighborhood, they came in through this area, they moved this way. You understand? That's giving intel to the people. Now let's see what happens when people don't have intel. And let's see, all of a sudden they go into a neighborhood in Chicago and they start, going to war with these gangs. How are these gangs going to move? How is the people going to move? Who's going to engage these migrants? Who's going to engage these gangs? How are they going to engage them? With what type of weaponry are they going to engage these people with? How do they move? You understand? This is gathering intel on their part to see how these people are going to fight against these foreigners. So then they can know how to move when the real shit hit the fan. That's all this is. We got another mass shooting in schools. I'm not going to talk about that too much. Another school shooting. So we're getting into that. Understand what's going on. One, they want it before the shit happens. I'm telling you now, they're going to pass some type of gun control because they're going to weaken us. That's what they want to do. They want to weaken us and take away superior firepower. Because then, let's say they do use these people to come and attack us in our neighborhoods. These people are illegals, right? So illegals and criminals, they don't follow the law. So they all of a sudden got their hands on automatic weapons where the government took ours. How are we going to have a fair fight? And when all this fighting is going on, what the hell is going to be happening behind the scenes? You guys got to pay attention to what's going on, man. You can see clear as day what they're gearing up to do. Again, as I said, we're going to get into all this in Merkabah Scholar Society because it's leading up to something. And I want people to be prepared for it. And I talked about it a little bit, but we're going to get into it more deeply there. But pay attention to what's going to happen. All the signs are right there. They're giving it to you. Now, I wanted to point out just how these people got here. And what are they even doing? Since when? You're talking about a president, let's just go back to Trump, who wanted to build the border wall. So, I mean, make it make sense. How you don't want to allow these people from Mexico into the country, right? That's one. And then all of a sudden, we're taking in a huge influx of foreigners, immigrants, to come into the country and giving them everything. Basically, giving them what we're trying to prevent the Mexicans who've been here their whole lives, born here, what have you, giving them what we're trying to prevent these people who've been here working and living peacefully. It don't make sense. So what is the wall really for? Well, what is that all about? What is the whole rhetoric around immigration and immigrants all about? Because it don't make sense. It don't make sense to have this law in place that's going to hinder people who was born here, who came here to escape whatever, and been here peacefully for a long time, working however they working, and then all of a sudden you want to build a wall, you want to try to kick people out, but then just Bring these people in, give them the keys to the kingdom. It's been people here been working hard, struggling. People struggling right now. It's hard out there. People struggling, trying to get their foot in the door. But these people come over and you give them the keys. So what is that doing for the American people? One, it's pissing you off. Understand? It's pissing people off. So not only, one, do we have the fact that you're giving these people tax breaks, you're giving them money for mortgages, down payments, what have you, all kinds of benefits that people who are born here, true Americans, are not getting. Then it just so happened these people have groups and factions and gangs, and they're going out and rioting and looting and taking and fucking harming American people. This is pissing people off, right? So it's gearing up towards something. So it's going to be, one, if shit hit the fan, people are going to be more than willing to go out there and fight against these people if need be. Big mass distraction, as I told you guys, keep your ass in the house. Don't fall for this shit. Plain and simple. If they ain't knocking on your door, stay home. You know, they're showing you what they're going to do, or one of the segues into what could possibly be. I talked about all this before. So if you've seen a stock market final, we got into that. If you've seen a lot of my last few videos, I talked about what's coming and what's happening with this whole situation. But now, since we've seen it on the news a lot, you can the picture is coming more clear. It's something I already knew that was coming, but it's becoming a lot more clear as you see the talk towards this whole thing. So this is going on. And at the same time, we have all the rhetoric around the presidential election. I mean, they make Kamala Harris seem like a hoe. I mean, it's the way they talk about her, it's just fucking disgusting. It's like this hatred for this woman that you're seeing. And I was walking into Walmart earlier today, and there was a lady out there trying to get people to vote. And this redneck walked up and was like, is Kamala Harris on the ballot? If she is, then forget about it. So it's like they're one pushing this race card with her, but they're making her seem like this woman is the vice president. I mean, if fucking Biden was to collapse and be gone, she's president. So one, when she got the nominee, when she got in for vice president, when he won the election, you had to already have been comfortable. When you voted for her, remember they voted for Biden, but you had to have already been comfortable in her being president. So if you really pay attention, the American people have already spoken, supposedly, if you believe in voting, they had already spoken when they voted for Biden and her. They already spoken and said, okay, we cool if she's president because you voted for him and she's vice president. So you voted understanding that she could possibly be president, especially looking at the condition, the age of Joe Biden, right? So what is all the bullshit? What are we talking about here? What is all the talk about? Like the people had already made it clear they wanted this guy. What's the problem? So if you made it clear that you wanted this guy to be the president, you made it clear that you wanted her to possibly be the president. So it shouldn't be like, they're making it now like this woman is the worst. Oh, the Democrats, what did y'all do? Oh, you chose this woman. No, the American people supposedly chose this woman when they voted her in to be vice president. Right now, you understand how they pushing this thing and swinging this thing, and it's creating this separation. And then you having the rednecks and everybody, all the racial shit is gathering up. Because forget that she's a woman. You already know men is pissed about that shit. Then she's a woman of color, right? Whether you want to call her Indian, whatever you want to say she is, she's black. That's a sister, regardless how you look at it or what she touches on. That's the image you got to pay attention to. I don't give a fuck about no politicians. Fuck her and all these people. She's a politician. They're not for you. If you don't get that now, something wrong with you. There's no politician that's for the people. They are for the government. They're for the corporations. They are not for you. You keep buying into the same bullshit every 4 years thinking that, something's going to get done, and it never happens.